I like the term you use, survivable backups. Today, we hear a lot of people call it immutable. But when a CIO says, John, we're safe, we have immutable backups, what goes through your mind?
Misinformed. That
I
would be
love it.
my first reaction because commonly leaders commonly buy products. They don't buy orchestration. They think because a product vendor, and I would name several, Veritas, Backup Exec, Rubrik, Veeam, you name them all, Druva, Data, they are told their backups are immutable. But in order for backups to be immutable, one, you firstly got to understand breach. You got to really understand how threat actors are even getting there to begin with and how they're attempting some form of destruction. Two, you got to understand what the capabilities of the products are. Or do you actually have them enabled? Do you have them enabled correctly? Actually, do you have the necessary mitigating controls wrapped around them? Or are the algorithms that you have in your chosen products, are they actually good? Immutability, unfortunately, this word means something different to every product vendor. If it means what we would call two-person rule, meaning someone makes a change and then it has to be approved by a second person, just know that isn't immutability. Immutability must mean, that there is no way to technically delete a backup except its timer, its retention timer expire. If your orchestration means anything other than that, you do not have a survivable backup. Period.
I love this survivable. I think I'm going to start using that more. So I'm stealing that from you. Thank you. But I want to take a quick moment because you've said it a couple times now, orchestration. What does orchestration mean in the context we're talking about today?
In the context of backups, it's firstly one clearly understanding the problem. The problem, if defined simply, is that a highly motivated, financially motivated, or otherwise threat actor may gain initial access, and it's very easy to do so. Frankly, most organizations' resistance controls will fall over in a blink. Um, So firstly, you got to understand the problem, and the problem is that they can destroy. They can, and they can massively destroy, and they can do so with great ease in most organizations. I would tell you, in breach, 99.99% of organizations we meet in breach are handling admin identity incorrectly. So firstly, understand the problem. Secondly, what it means to orchestrate well is once you understand the problem, all of your configuration has to be aligned to the truth of breach, what threat actors are actually doing and how they're doing it. Like, why is quorum in Rubrik or Cohesity or any other product that uses quorum? We would also call this two-person rule. Why isn't it going to work? It's not going to work because the credentials that you have that makes the change and also approves the change happen to be in your CyberArk instance, which is connected to your production domain, which is going to fall over in the breach. So the threat actor is simply going to make a change and approve their change, and poof goes your backups. And so I would say second problem with orchestration is not only you got to understand the problem, but secondly, you've got to orchestrate against the problem and against what threat actors are actually doing. So you have to be very informed about what they're doing, how they're doing what they're doing, and why. And thirdly, I would say you've got to understand recovery, real recovery. And there's a lot of sub bullets to this, right? Just having a survivable backup isn't good enough, right? If your only survivable backup is in a cloud repository and you've got 4 petabyte of data or even 500 terabytes of data, guess what? It ain't coming back quick because object-oriented stores are slow. And when you drag this across the WAN, it's slow. You have basically an exponentially slow orchestration there. You got technical flaws all over the place because you haven't really considered the fact that you might actually have to re-ingest 500 terabyte of data in a blink. Object-oriented stores ain't going to work for that. So that's my 3 bullets. I'm sure I've got more. And
I'm,
actually, I'll give you one more sub bullet. Most orgs don't understand their partners that are required to
oh,
recover.
that's a good one.
You got to have a data forensics partner. You got to have a recovery partner. Your IT team has never done recovery this way before. If you don't have someone like Phoenix 24, and frankly, we're the only one on earth that does this as a pure play restoration practice. If you don't have us, you don't have a DFR partner, and you don't have a breach counselor, and you've already vetted these, got the contracts in place, you're going to have a slower than necessary recovery. And there's a lot more sub bullets I could hit on if you wanted to tease them out.
No, I'm sure.